There's been widespread condemnation as missiles hit Ukraine's Odesa port, hours after Russia signed a deal with Ukraine allowing grain to be exported to millions around the world.
No matter what Russia promises, it will always find a way to break them. That may be through geopolitics or with weapons, sometimes through bloodshed. It has many ways to act.
The Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has said that Ukraine cannot win against Russia and has called on the US to help bring the war there to an end. Mr. Orban said the strategy of imposing sanctions had failed.
The United States has accused Russia of worsening a global food crisis by carrying out a missile strike on the Ukrainian port of Odesa.
The attack came just hours after a landmark deal to resume grain shipments from Ukraine. We're going to talk to our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams for us. He's in Kyiv for us this morning. And Paul, I understand the air raid sirens are actually going off there where you are this morning. I hope you're safe. But just talking about Odesa, how has President Zelensky reacted to what seemingly is a Russian strike on the port?
Yeah, just to say this is fairly routine. Started about 5 minutes ago. We'll obviously act if we have to, but I think at the moment we seem to be fine. But certainly the reaction from Ukraine was that this is a strong indication of something that they've argued all along, which is that Moscow cannot be trusted. When the deal was struck in Istanbul a couple of days ago, they did not say that this was an indication of any kind of renewed faith in Moscow's goodwill, but something that Moscow had essentially been cajoled and forced into doing. So President Zelensky last night described it as barbaric and an indication that Moscow simply cannot be trusted. I think what's interesting now to see is that the damage which we initially thought might have been quite extensive to the port facilities in Odesa seems to be relatively minor. Nothing that we've seen, nothing that we've read suggests that anything of any great significance was damaged. So from a technical point of view, there's no reason for the Ukrainians not to go ahead with preparations for the shipment of that grain that has been trapped there all this time. But I think what is more significant is the symbolic value of this and the message it sends to the international community and to the maritime community, which is that an operation that was already fraught with all sorts of dangers could be even more dangerous than people thought. And I think that will cause people to hesitate before sending ships to Odesa to start this much wanted process.